Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a lovely night. I am working with a rocking hard headache because math. All day math. All right, so what we're actually going to work on today. So I was going to continue on with the complex numbers until what was going on with a lot of my sessions today. So I am going to be doing 2 lessons today. So we're going to be working on consecutive integers. Yes, this will be on ASVAB. It will also be on ACT and SAT prep, as well as scientific notation. Scientific notation is going to be in every one of those assessments. It's going to be in your GED. It's going to be in TEAS test, ASVAT, ACT, SAT. They all have scientific notation. So I'm going to go over those 2 concepts tonight. So get your paper, have a seat, woosah it up, because we're going to break it on down. All right, so as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap, go ahead and screen, share the live. If you know someone that's going to take the ASVAT sometime soon, as well as the GED, just say, hey, Audrey's on. Come on in. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so when we are talking about consecutive integers, consecutive meaning one after the other, let's be blunt, let's break it on down. So if you think about it, so let's say we just want to do, let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, we might go to 5. All right. So this is consecutive, one after the other. And integers, that means I can use negative numbers, my whole number of 0, as well as all my positive integers, right? No decimals, just whole numbers, right? So if I want to get from 1 to 2, if I want to get from 1 to 2, I know I'm going to add 1. If I want to get from 1 to 3, I know I'm going to have to add 2. And if I want to get from 1 to 4, I'm going to have to add 3. Okay? So 1 to 2, I'm going to add 1. From 1 to 3, it's adding 2. 1 to 4, it's adding 3. And lastly, if I want to go from 1, I'm going to try to squeeze it on in there. To 5, I'm going to add 4. So in order for me, I can start anywhere. If I wanted to start at 2 as opposed to 1, I know for me to get to the next consecutive integer, I'll have to add 1. If I want to get to the next one, starting from wherever I want to start, say I want to start at 2, I need to add 2 to get to 4. And then I know I need to add 3 to get to 5. So when it comes to the consecutive, it's going to be one after the other. So the best way that I can describe how you can do consecutive integers is you can start anywhere. And since we can start anywhere, I'm going to use the variable x. Hey, thanks for coming in. All right, so we got our x. For me to get to the next integer, so I'm going to put parentheses around so you can see it a little bit better. I know I'm going to have to go x plus 1. Okay, that gets me to the next consecutive integer. Then I would have to go x plus 2. Okay, do we see what the pattern is? Then if I want to go to the next one, it will be x plus 3. So the x is representing where I want to start. And it doesn't matter where we want to start. But when they say consecutive, that means one after the other. So that means in order for me to get to the next one, I have to add 1. They use your starting point. In order for me to get to the next one, I have to add 2. In order for me to get to the next point, I have to add 3, and so on. All right? Okay. With that, hello, bundles. Okay? Yes, we're always starting from your unknown variable. So it could be -7. Okay? If I wanted to go from -7 to go to the next consecutive integer, I'll have to add 1. That'll be -6. If I started at -7 and I wanted to get to the second term, I would have to have -7 plus 2. That would give me -5. Okay? So it all depends on where you want to start. But when they say consecutive integers, that's what you're basically doing, is taking where you're starting from, adding 1, adding 2, adding 3. All right? Now, how about consecutive even? I'm not letting anybody in, so please stop messaging me. Get your own platform. Okay, it's been that type of day. I'm feeling very feisty. All right. I may have a smile on my face, but trust me, the tongue is sharp as a blade. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about consecutive even, all right, let's think about those even numbers. Let's keep it simple. Let's start with 2, then 4, then 6, then 8. Okay? If I want to, going from 2 to 4, how do I go from 2 to 4? Put it in the chat. Well, welcome, Kat. Welcome. I know. It's been that type of day, Lynette. So how do I get there? There you go. Bundles. Thank you. +2. Okay, we can go with the ×2, but we also can go with the +2. Zach, we're going with the 2. Thank you. All right. So going from 2 to 4, I'm going to add 2. If I want to go starting at 2 and I want to get to 6, what do I have to do? So if I'm starting at 2, how do I get to 6? Okay. Not so much multiplication. Because since we're doing consecutive, if I do multiplication, it's not going to give me consecutive. Because 2 times 2 gives me 4. 2 times 3 gives me 6. But it's not so much the multiplication. It's the addition. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Bundles. Thank you, Sun Cluster. Yes, it works, but I'm going to show you the reason why we're doing addition. Okay? And lastly, if I wanted to go from 2 to 8. Starting at 2, how do I get to 8? Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tony. Okay. Bundles of blessing +6. Good. Michelle +6. Tony the Tiger +6. I thank you, Suncatcher. I appreciate you. Kiki +6. Good. All right. So, if I look at it, here's my pattern. +2, +4, +6. So no matter where I start, say I'm going to start at this digit, wherever that integer is. In order for me to get to the next one, instead of +1 like we had here, because that was our pattern, +1, +1, +1, this time we're going to go x +2 plus x plus 4. Okay? Let me keep going. All right? Okay. Now, here's a question for you. This is why I have a headache. You're like, why? Yeah, this is why I have a headache. Because this one student, it was just like trying to pull it out, right? So he figured out the pattern, which is good. So then, if I do consecutive odd numbers, will I get the same pattern? Okay. If I do consecutive odd numbers, will I get the same pattern? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No. Tony the Tiger, that's not my world. I probably can, but no. Okay, yes, good. Zach, yes. Good. Display name 68. What's the 68? Good. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yes. Kiki, yes. Okay, a Bard. Ooh. Okay. All right. Awesome. So now, you do get the same exact thing. All you guys are correct. Okay? If you think about it. All right, consecutive odd numbers. Okay. Let's start somewhere that we normally don't start. Okay, let's start at 7. Why not? Okay, the next number would be 9. The next number will be 11. And then let's stop at 13 because we'll get the idea. So in order for me to go from 7 to 9, I have to add 2. In order for me to go from 7 to 11, I have to add 4. Yes. To go from 7 to 13, let me take it all the way up a little bit more. Okay. I have to add 6. So a lot of people, when they take these exams, the first thing you always say, there's so many formulas that I have to memorize. But if we take a moment, especially this, if they say consecutive integer, you're going to take the first number, add 1, add 2, add 3, and so on. If they say consecutive even or consecutive odd, you're doing the same process. Actually, I'm going to add to this. So you got your x plus 6 and so forth. Okay? X plus 8, x plus 10, and so on. All right? Do we see the difference of the two? Okay, do we see the difference? Exactly, Tony. It's the same thing. Don't know, all I see is numbers. Okay, and that's fine. That's what you're supposed to see. It's math. You're supposed to see some numbers, darling. There you go. All right? So, regardless if they're saying consecutive even or consecutive odd, you're still doing the same pattern. Okay? You're taking everything and you're adding in the process of 2. So now, let's practice. Shall we? We shall. All right, I want us to find 3. Okay, this is what happens when you do multiple things at once. You want to find 3 consecutive integers. Notice they did not say consecutive odd or consecutive even. All right, so we're focusing on 3 consecutive integers. All right, whose sum is 72. All right, so we're looking at, we got the word is, so that means it got an equal sign. We got the word sum, so that means we're adding those integers up to have it equal 72. So we don't know where they're going to start. You can sit there with your calculator trying to figure it all out and about to lose your blessed mind and mine. Or we can go through the steps. So since it says 3 consecutive integers, that means we're looking at the first number we're going to start off is going to be x, because it could be any number. But the next number we're going to start off is going to be x plus 1, okay? Because it's consecutive integers. And with the consecutive integers, the next term is going to be x plus 1. And since they're saying 3 integers, consecutive integers, the x is the first one, the x plus 1 is the second one, so now we need x plus 2 to represent the third one. All right, so I'm seeing some answers here, which is awesome. Great. All right, it's from the number you're starting with. So right now, Zach, we don't even know what number we're starting with. That's why we're using the x's. Okay, remember, x can represent any number. And since we're talking about integers, it could be negative numbers, which I know it's not because it's 72, but you know what I'm saying. It could be a negative number, okay, but it's going to be a whole number, not a decimal. And it says whose sum, so that's why we're adding them, is 72. So again, if this is too slow, hey, go, you can scroll. But I'm going to tell you, this stuff is always on some kind of blessed test, okay? And I really want you to advance. I want to get you as many points as possible. If you can get this, especially on the ASVAT, this is telling you that you are at those upper level questions, okay? That's where I need for you to be. So you can get more options in the military. You can get more options in whatever you want to do, okay? All right, now let's get to it. So here's the thing that drove me nuts this morning. So we have x plus x plus x. There's 3 x's there. So the best way to define that is 3x. Combine our like terms. We have 1 plus 2. That gives me a 3. Okay, are we all right? I'm going to take a look in a moment. All right. Okay. All right, Godson, what's the question? When will you use consecutive integers? How'd you get up this morning? Consecutive integers is a bunch of patterns. How'd you figure out your password? Consecutive integers. How'd you know that you had to go from point A to point B? Do you know how to count? That's consecutive integers. Okay? No more cheeky questions. Thank you. All right, so we're solving for x. Okay, so now we want to get that 3x by itself. Think of it. You're in the club. Your x, 3 is your boo. Here comes plus 3 trying to be a little extra, trying to break you guys up. What do you got to do? You got to get them out of your life. Subtract that little trick out the way. Okay? So now this person's out. Boom, boom. Now we got our 3x. Okay? So 72 minus 3. Remember, most of these tests you're not going to have a calculator for. So I'm going to borrow from that 7, make it a 6. I'm going to make that 2 into a 12. So 12 minus 3, that gives me a 9. And of course, is a lot of people's favorite number. So now, what are we going to do? We need to get x by itself. Your boo is acting up. So what we got to do? We got to divide him or her out of your life. Divide by 3. So now you have x equals. So 69 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So a lot of you guys that said 23, right? All right, so here we go. We got our 23. This is our first digit. Remember we got here, we got our x. So our first digit is 23. If we're looking for 3 consecutive integers, that means one after the other. So that means we have an answer that is 23, the next digit is 24, and the next digit is 25. All right, if you do not believe me, because I be lying, let's check it, shall we? So we have 23, 24, and 25. We add those bad boys together, what do we got? So we have 3 plus 4 gives me 7 and 5. Whoa, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. That's a 2. Carry the 1. 2, 4, 6, and 1 is 7. That gives me 72. And that's what it was supposed to equal. All right. So that's how you kind of check it. Questions. All right. Thank you. Gotcha. Good. All right. Thank you, C4. Thank you, everyone. This is good. I just try to break it on down. How does this make you money? Do you know how to count your money, dude? Bruh. How does this make you money? This is how you know that you got money and that little friend of yours is not stealing money from you. It's called a faster way to count. It's such a more difficult way. Because it was. It was. Because it was. Everybody likes to jump through so many things, right? It's crazy. I know. Think about it, dude. Think about it. All right. Let's do some more. I am not letting anybody in, so stop trying to come in. Get your own platform. Here we go. Oh, I am definitely feeling saucy tonight. Saucy. All right. So, we got some things. Oh, 3.1. This is awesome. All right. Keep on tapping. I'll keep on crazy. All right. So, hey, Bridget. How are you? So who cannot figure the formula out? Trust me. It's not just you being a smart answer. It's out there. Welcome to my life. This is what I was doing for 3 blessed hours today. Yes. Tilted Halo. How are you? All right. In other chat, yes. Well, you got that, but when it comes time for you to take that test, you cannot take that with you. All right, so here we go. Let me see if I can shrink this in just a little bit. So this time, I want us to find, maybe not, okay, 2 consecutive even integers whose sum is 34. Okay? 2 consecutive even integers. And you can probably sit there, go ahead, calculate it, type it up, and do all that. All right? So, but here's my thing. We don't know where we're going to start. We don't know where we're going to begin. So this is when I use X. All right? Now, there's 2 consecutive even integers. All right? We can play around with numbers. So that means what should represent my second number? Put it in the chat. Can you buy a W? I'm going to let that slide. Because sometimes I keep forgetting. All right. Yes, C4. Thanks. Will I cover tonight? Scientific notation. Definitely. Good. All right. So bundles of blessing. Yes. The big boss. Okay. Thank you. Yes. All right. So since it's even, it's not going to be X plus 1. It's going to be X plus 2. Meredith, thank you. Big boss again. Thank you. Corey, thank you. So we're going to be dealing with X plus 2. If it just said 2 consecutive integers, yes, it'll be X plus and X plus 1. Now, whose sum, we got the addition already, is equal sign 34. Okay. So now we're going into following. We got X plus X. That gives me 2X, not X squared. You're only doing X squared when you're multiplying. Okay. Make life a little easy for you. All right. So again, your X, 2's your boo. Here comes plus 2 trying to jump into the mix. We're sick of it. Go ahead and leave us alone. We just want to have a nice quiet night. So we're going to subtract that 2 out from our lives. Go and be a nuisance to the 34. All right? So now we have our 2x is going to be equal to 32. What do I need to do now? What should I do now? Okay, C4 is saying divided by 2. Pogs is saying our answers is 16 and 18. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Good, Zach, divide by 2. Chris, how are you? Divide by 2. Lazy, divide. Aranza? If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. Divide by 2. Banks! Divide by 2, divide by 2. Divorce 2, yes, Meredith. Get rid of that seed. All right. Yeah, okay, good. All right, divide by 2. Yes, there we go. So we are dividing by 2. Person starts screwing up, making those late night phone calls like we didn't know was happening. Speaking my truth right now. Sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. All right. So 2 divided by 2 gives me 1x. So I can just put the x. The 1 is understood. Then we have our 32 divided by 2. 3 divided by 2. We got a series of 1 with 1 left over. 12 divided by 2. That will give me my 6. So the first digit that we have is a 16. That means the next consecutive even integer is what? Oh, no problem, John. This is how I work out my sanity. Good. Love it. Good. Love it. Love it. Love it. 16 plus 2. Yes. 18. Okay. It doesn't matter if they're asking for 2 consecutive or they're crazy enough to ask for 5 consecutive. If they said consecutive even or consecutive odd, you're starting off with your x. The next one's your x plus 2, then your x plus 4, then your x plus 6, and your x plus 8. And then you combine your like terms and solve for x. All right. So let's step it up, shall we? All right, let me see if I can. I love how I'm going to try to do this with one hand. This is hilarious. All right, so let's see if you guys can get that. If you guys can continue tapping, I would greatly appreciate it. I love these little things called tap-saroos. All right. So here we go. Now, we got 3, I'm probably going to just slide over and stuff. We have 3 consecutive integers are such that 3 times the smallest is 12 more than the largest. Find the integers. So they're giving me, okay, no problem, Sonny. Appreciate you stopping by. So they're giving us a little bit of information. 1, we're talking about 3 consecutive integers. Okay, that's 1 to keep in mind. So when they're talking about 3 consecutive integers, I'm going to put it above it. They're talking about the first term is going to be x. The second term is going to be x plus what? What do you think? X plus what? Yes, Michelle. Yes. Is it Albard? Zach, yes. Big boss. Careful, big boss. It's just consecutive integers, not odd or even. Okay. Yes. 1. Yes. Okay. Good. Well, hello, Albard. Okay. So the first one is x. The second one is going to be x plus 1. That means the third is going to be x plus 2. Okay, so this is representing the first number. That's representing the second number. This is representing the third number. Okay, there you go, big boss. There it is. Okay, why the x plus 1? Oh, Chris, guess you came in a little bit later. This is why. If we think about consecutive integers, if we start at 1, if I want to get to 2, I would have to add 1. If I start at 1 and I want to get to 3, I have to add 2. If I start at 1 and I want to get to 4, that means I have to add 3. So when they're talking about consecutive integers, it is how, no matter where you're starting, how do I get to the next number from where I'm starting at the 1? What do I actually have to do? Okay, so when it's consecutive integers, you start with the first number, which is going to be our x. Then the second number is going to be our x plus 1. Then to get to the third number will be x plus 2. To the fourth number will be x plus 3, and so on. If we did our consecutive even or odd, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same process. So consecutive even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. If I want to start at 2 to get to 4, I got to add 2. If I start at 2 and want to get to 6, I got to add 4. If I want to start at 2 and get to 8, I want to add 6. Same thing's happening with the odds. For me to get to 7 to 9, add 2. 7 to 11, add 4. And 7 to 13, add 6. Okay? So that's why consecutive even or consecutive odd is always going to be x is your first term. X plus 2 is your second term. X plus 4 is your third term. And x plus 6 is your fourth. Okay? Not a problem. Here we go. No clue what's going on, but your voice is so soothing. Well, thank you. It's called insanity. I've been tutoring all blessed day. And I'm nowhere near done. Because after I'm done with you guys, I got another tutoring session. Yeah. Call it what it is. Correct. Okay. So here's the difference here. So they're saying 3 times the smallest. So the smallest number is x. So we're talking about 3x. Because it's 3 times the smallest. Is equals 12 more than the largest. So what's going to represent the largest of those 3 numbers is going to be my x plus 2. So that means I have x plus 2, and more than, that means addition. Okay, read it in, let it sink in. Okay, we're not multiplying, so there shouldn't be any foiling. User, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, not a problem. College for years, right? Welcome in, Mary. All right, excellent. All right, so C4. So here we are. Consecutive numbers are numbers that comes right after the other, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, if I want to start at 15, there'll be 16, 17, 18, 19. Those are consecutives, one after the other. All right. Hello, abracadabra. How are you? All right. So now we need to solve. We need to figure out what is x. What is that magical number that's going to start this lovely sequence of consecutive integers? So this is the part that I think a lot of people need a refresher. This is on every blessed standardized test that you can think of. Go ahead, name it. It's on there. All right. So we need to get this situated. So here's the key. Now you got 2 x's, one on one side of the equal sign, one on the other. We need to get our x's on one side of the equal sign. Now, I count that we should subtract this x and put it with this 3x. In order for you to move from one side of the equal sign to the other, you always do the opposite. Okay, you always do its inverse. because this x minus x, that gives me 0. But I don't need to put the 0 because we have this lovely placeholder right here. We already have 2 plus 12 on that side equal side. And we can combine those two. So let's do a little bit of math. So we have 3x minus 1x. That will give me 2x. And the 2 plus the 12 will give me 14. Are we okay so far? Good. All right, Big Boss said minus x. C4 says move the x. Good. Hopster saying it's 7. Awesome. Okay, so 2x divided by 2. Okay, keep forgetting that. Not a problem. Yes. All right. And then C. Mulder is telling us what those series is. Let's see if he's right. So now, here we go. Divide both sides by 2. Boom, boom. The reason why we're doing this is we're so isolating the variable. That's the whole premise of all equations. You want to isolate that variable. You want to know what that number is. So 14 divided by 2 gives me 7. So we're saying that 7 is going to be the start of this series. So if we're talking about 3 consecutive integers, that means we're going to start with 7 and go to the next digit, which is 8. And then the next digit after that, which is 9. These are your answers. That's it. All right. Okay, thank you, Nikki. And you probably know more so than I am that this is the voice of insanity. This is the voice of, if I just get one more email about some kind of malarkey, I'm going to lose my stuff because summer is right around the corner. Do not push my buttons, right? Okay, Zach. Well, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. BB, yes. Okay. So, thank you so much, BB. What will be in here? All right. So, one more with the consecutives, because I want to bring it all in because we're going to be doing scientific notation in a moment. Sweet baby Jesus, give me strength. All right. So now we need to find 3 consecutive odd integers whose sum is 129. Okay? I'm going to leave you alone with this one. I trust you. I have full trust in you. All right? So give it a try. Okay? 3 consecutive odd integers whose sum is 129. Okay? I'm going to give you about a minute. All right? There you go. Yes, you can. You can do it, Lisa. You got it, girl. Come on. Pump it up. You got this. Just breathe. Be one with the force. Okay? Can you show me before this page? Can I show you before this page? Teach you around like I do. Oh my gosh, Shireen. Oh, why? Shireen. So there's guidance. So you must be are you trimesters or trisemesters? Trimesters. I feel like you're birthing somebody. All right. So I'm seeing a slight discrepancy on Sky and Michelle. Okay, that's all right. We're going to be... Oh, okay, so Sky got back. All right. All right, we got bundles. All right, so Sky said 41, 43, 45. Then Michelle had 41, 43, 45 bundles. That's 41, 43, 45. Okay. Don't worry, I will be showing you how we're getting these numbers. Okay, Pog saying 41, 43, 45. Abracadabra saying 42, 43, 45. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Switch it up to 41, 43, 45. Okay. Tulu saying, or Tolu saying 41, 43, 45. Albard saying 41, 43, 45. Baby! 43, 44, 45. 43, 44, 45. Okay. Check that 44. Weeby saying 43, 45, 47. Okay. Hello, South Africa. So nice to say the hello to a whole entire continent. Hello. All right. So let's take a look. So we are talking about highlighter 3 consecutive odd integers. Okay. Whose sum, so we're adding these bad boys together, is, that means it's equals 129. So we don't know where they're going to start. So I'm going to use x. X is going to represent my first unknown number. Since I'm doing sum, that means plus. Since it's odd, that means in order for me to get from one number to the next, I would have to add 2. So the next one would be x plus 2. That's going to be my second integer. Now I want to find the third integer. So I'll start with my x. And now I'm adding 4. Okay? Odd and even, you're doing the same pattern. Is, which is equal, 129. So now, let us combine our like terms. So, get my x's. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 x's. Thank God I only have 1. So we're moving on. So 2 plus 4, that gives me 6. And now I have my 129. So from here, I'm going to subtract that 6. Move that person out. Get them out of your life. Okay? So now we have 3x is equal to 123. So now we want to divide both sides. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to grab my pen. Want to divide both sides by 3 because 3 was messing up. Talking to people at the bar while you over there working hard. Okay, we got x is equal to, so now 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. And 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. So now I have x is equal to 41. So consecutive odd integers, if I'm starting off with 41, the next one has to be 43. And then the next one has to be 45. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and add all 3 up, and I'll bet you cold hard cash it's going to equal 129. All right. Okay. What do you mean you messed up from the beginning? Oh, no. I thought odds. Yeah, odds is 1, 3, 5. But when it comes to finding them, remember, depending on where you start, how do I get from one number to the next? I add 2. How do I get from 7 to 11? I would add 4. How do I get from 7 to 13? I will add 6. The way that I will get to the next number from a certain starting point is exactly the same as if I had even numbers. Okay, so if I wanted to start at 4, how would I get from 4 to 6? I would add 2. How I get from 4 to 8? I would add 4. How I get from 4 to 10? I would add 6. Okay, so your process is going to be the same. All right. Okay. Okay, so the sum needs to equal. Are we okay? Are we all right? So can we put this to bed? Can I know you want to do one more, darling, but this is why you guys need to come on time. I am so sorry, but I am feeling very, very saucy today. Okay, because I'm not going to be staying here too late, because remember, I have another tutoring session after this. Okay, 11 o'clock, midnight. 11 to midnight. Hello, I'm on the East Coast time. Okay? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so now, let's clear our minds. Let's breathe. Remembering our woo-sa. All right, so what we're doing, thank you so much. I appreciate that, South Africa. So what we're doing now, we're going to look at scientific notation. Now, I know a lot of people are like very threatened by it. Don't know which way to shift. Got to clarify that diction sometimes. So sometimes people are like, all right, I don't know which way to go. I don't know if the ruling is, how do I break this all down? Okay, so that's where I'm going to come on in, and I'm going to try to alleviate some of the stress. And especially, this is great if some of you guys love this and you're like, oh, I really want to watch the rest of it, but I really and truly should pass out right now. Where'd my paper go? Oh, here it is. It's not a problem. You can go to my YouTube channel, Audrey Codner, ACG Math Tutoring. Okay, if you go to YouTube, I have a playlist that has all, and I do mean all, of my lives. I started doing these lives February the 5th. Okay, majority of those lives are there. But I know since definitely the end of February up to yesterday is up there. Okay, so if you want to subscribe, remember, it's a free subscription. Get notifications of when I'm putting up a new live, or I'm putting up a short that may summarize what the live was about. Okay, so you'll get all those. That's on the ACG Math Tutoring. So if you're one of those type of people that are just like, hey, I need any kind of help I can get for ASVAT, GET, any of those classes, or maybe you're currently in a class, you can go and take a look at some of the videos that's on there. All right, so because I know everybody is in different time zones, all kinds of fun stuff. So now, when it comes to the scientific notation, you usually see it in this format. There is a number times, and I know there's an X using for multiplication. I don't like it. Some books will have it as a dot nowadays, which I appreciate that, because when you're in algebra, an X is basically just like what we used. We used X for all this stuff, right? We used X. X is not multiplication. X is a variable. It can represent any number. That's why I always feel that when we do multiplication, we should no longer use X. That's just me and my feelings. But you will see it in this format. Now, if you can keep this kind of under wraps, it will help you out. Now, if you have to move the decimal, or like if you're going from one phrase to another, if you have to move to the right, you're looking at a negative exponent. So like if you're going from a decimal to the exponent, that's what I'm talking about here. If you're moving to the right, you're going to have a negative exponent. If you're moving to the left, you're going to have a positive exponent. The reason why we deal with scientific notation is because we're starting to deal with large, extremely large or extremely small numbers. And there's going to be times that you put, I don't know, some people used to have like if you put it in your calculator and then your calculator had like this E and it has a negative number next to it and your teacher says, oh, that's just zero. And you're like, well, how is that zero? Well, the E to the way that they rounded all the numbers off, sometimes they just round it completely up to a zero because it's that small of a number. So let me show you because I'm starting to feel like I'm babbling. Now, if I wanted to, say if I give you a digit of 3, okay, I'm reaching here. So if I give you a digit of 3 and I want you to put this in scientific notation, first off, your value that's supposed to be in front only ranges from 1 to 9, okay? It can't be a 2-digit number, okay? It's supposed to be like a 1 digit with a decimal, but it's never like 758 times 10 to the whatever power. No. So you have that whole number. So that means we have this 3 times 10 to, since we didn't have a decimal to move, it didn't go anywhere. So that means the exponent is going to be to the 0 power. Okay? Anything raised to the 0 power is equal to what? Put it in the chat. This is when I'm going to have to like remain calm. Anything raised to the 0 power is what? I knew I was going to see it. Okay, so I'm seeing a nice little series. Okay. Abram, I haven't seen you in a minute. How are you? Yes, it's going to be 1. So bundles, Lacole, okay, Andrea, Ace, Bree sister, okay, Mimi, all right, Abram, lovely hearts, Candy girl, all right, it's 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So if this 10 is being raised to the 0 power, that's going to give me equivalent to 1. So 3 times 1 gives me 3, okay? So if I give you, let me give you an arrow so you can get the transition. So if I give you 0, let's say 3/10. So 3/10, I do not have a whole number in front. That means I need to move, in order for it to be in scientific notation, I need to move this over 1 spot. So when I move it, I'm moving to the right. So if I'm moving to the right, that means I need a negative exponent. And I'm making a negative exponent with how many times I moved the decimal point. So in this case, by moving it over to now, it's a whole number of 3. So I got my 3 times 10 raised to the negative. And how many times did I move that decimal place over? 1 time. Okay. Oops. Gotta check on these. All right. Okay, good. All right. So now, let's advance up a bit. So let's say 2,122. I know I should put the comma, but I don't want to throw you off because I don't want you to think that the comma is a decimal point. All right, so I know there should be a comma there, but I don't want to throw you off because of the decimal point. I want you to focus on the decimal for right now. Okay? You can shun me from the math departments as much as you want. Don't bloody care. Okay? So now, taking a look, I have way too many digits. It's supposed to only be one whole number in front of the decimal point. Okay? So that means I need to move this decimal place over 1, 2, 3 times. Okay? So when I do that, I'm going to have my 2. I'm going to put my point, and I'm going to have 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. All of those numbers need to be represented because if I wanted to convert it going back to its original state, these numbers need to be represented. So now, since I moved that decimal place over to the left, my exponent needs to be positive. Right? So my exponent needs to be positive. And how many times did I move that decimal point? 3 times. It looks crazy, but that's what it is. All right? Good. I'm seeing all these 3s. Love it, love it, love it. All right? Yes. Okay? So I know we're doing a whole lot of rounding. We're doing a lot of stuff, which is great. Awesome. And you are right. It's fine. But we need to keep it simple. All right. All right. So now some people are probably saying, well, wait, Audrey, what happens if we have a negative? Like, challenge me a little bit. All right. So let's say we have a negative 45,000. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is now a comma. Okay, so negative 45,000. So we want to convert that. Where would the decimal be? Because there's no decimal up here. But where would it be? Okay, that's where the decimal is going to go, twin, which is awesome. Okay, nope, not after the 5. There you go, Nicole. Okay, so right now, after that last 0, good, Dean. Yeah, behind the last number, good, Bree. Okay, but that's where we're going, Ace, which is good. So don't need to know. Renegade, how have you been? Okay. Where did the 10 come from on the right side of the arrow? So the 10 is representing your power of 10s. Okay? That's representing your power of 10s, your hundreds, your 10s, your hundreds, your thousands, your 10,000s. All of that. Okay? That's... Go ahead of yourself. That's all right. That's fine. Do not let me hold you back from your dream. Okay? So, if it's not seen, the decimal is going to be back here. All right. So now we want that decimal to end up in between the 4 and the 5. So we really got to take a look at how many times we're moving it. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. So that means you're still keeping the negative. That negative doesn't go away. Okay. You still keep the negative. Now it's going to be 4.5 times 10. And since we went from large to small, we moved it to the left, it's going to be a positive exponent. And how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be to the 4th power. Okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can add this, you can subtract that. It's too much, especially when you're going to be taking ASVAT, GED, acuplacer, okay? Just any of those testing. Remember, the way that you take those tests is different from how you take a test in the classroom. In the classroom, they want to see your steps. In the classroom, they want to hear your explanation. But when you're taking the SAT, the ACT, the acuplacer, the ASVAB, the GED, any kind of standardized test, they just want to know, did you click the right box? That's all I care. Did you click the right box? And I tried to explain this to my mother. She's like, isn't that cheating? I'm like, Mom, you live in a different time. Plus, I can't disrespect my mother. She's from the Caribbean. She would kill me. Anyway. All right. So we want to get it to that step by step. All right. Thank you so much. Continue to tap. Share it out. Really. I really want you guys to get this. Okay. So now, let's try this way. So if we have, okay, I'm going to be ridiculous with this. So let me go example. We got 3. Okay, what is this as a scientific notation? What do you think? Exactly, Dean. Exactly. Doesn't matter how old she is. She's 80 years old and still powerful. Just the look. God forbid. Okay. All right. It's a dimple face. Hello. Okay. Now. There we go. All right. So twin, we got this. Candace, we got this. All right. Let's think about where our decimal needs to be. We need to have a whole number in front, then a decimal. So that means we need for this decimal point to be in between the 3 and the 2. Because then we'll have 3 point something. So that means we have to move this decimal place over 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice what direction we're going in. Okay, we're going to the right. So if we're going to the right, that means we're dealing with a negative exponent. So we should have, our 3.25. Okay, so for those that had it as 0.325, it's 3.25. We want to have a whole number to the left of that decimal. Does that make sense? Okay, so that first whole number, yes, would be 3. So now we have our 10. And we write down, since we went from decimal being here to the right, that means it's a negative exponent. And we moved 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be a negative 4. Okay. All right, how are we feeling? You ready for the quiz? All right. So let's go. All right, so let's try. Okay, we'll try another decimal, and then I'll give you some whole number ones, and then we'll flip the script. 2, 3, let's say 23. Okay, give this one a try. Okay, pretty good. You're a little lost, baby? What's going on? Let's see if I can walk you through this one. Okay. Okay, thank you for the follow, guys. Purple Haze and 3 Victory 3. So when we move to the right of the decimal, yep, your answer is going to be negative. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing 2.4. Or is that 2.3? Okay, 2.3 times 10 and negative 4. So Andrea, Candy Girl, Renegade, Bundle Blessings, Kiki, JFC, JD, BDDJ. Yeah, you. You do have 2.3. Good. Okay, got it. Okay. Nicole, good. Just don't forget about the 10, Nicole. Okay, don't forget about the 10. Hey, Janice. And don't forget about that part. But you're getting it, which is good. All right. Okay, no problem. No, put the if you want like 2.3 times 10 raised to the negative 4. Yeah, and same thing, baby. Okay, so we need to move and make sure that decimal place is in between the 2 and the 3 because we need a whole number in front of that decimal point. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so move to 4. So that gives us 2.3 times 10 to the 4th. But since we moved from the decimal point here to the right, it's going to be a negative 4. Okay, you see how it is now? Okay. All right. So now, let's flip the script. Well, try this one, and then we'll flip the script. So let's go with 21,000. Okay, 21,000. Yeah, I am going to do the opposite twin. I will. I'm actually going to do it after this. Hello, Neve. Thanks for the follow. So 21,000. This is a comma, not a decimal. Okay, what do you guys think? Is that funny, twin? Because you don't have the pressure of like, I gotta pass this test, or I'm not gonna be able to do this, do that, and everyone's gonna threaten my life, like, you'll never be successful if you don't. It's so much stress, so unnecessary, just so unnecessary. So now we can sit here and chill, learn a little bit of math, ease some of that math phobia. So when like you have children, niece, nephews, or other people asking for assistance, now you can feel empowered and say, oh, let me help you with this. I can get to this. Can you take it and run with it? Most of the kids say yes. All right. So 2.1 times 10 to the 4th. 2.1, 10 raised to the 4th. 2.1, 10 raised to the 4th. So that was Maxie. We have Andrea, Kiki. Is that Lacey Darlin? I don't know if it's Lacey Darlin. Okay. See, Lisa? Look at you. Good job. Okay. Bundles of Blessing. Good. Candy Girl. Okay. Awesome. And I don't think I said Pog earlier. I'm so sorry. Pog. Yes. You're awesome. You're amazing. Baby. Yes. Good. Look at this. See? Think about it. Dean. Excellent. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is wonderful. You just need to be between 2 and 1, right? That means, hey, decimal point, you don't see it, that means it's back here. And we moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We moved 4 times to the left. That means we're going to have a positive exponent. So that gives us 10 to the, what did I say? The 4th. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Okay. Ready? This is when everybody's like, no. And I'm like, yes. I have faith in you. I have faith. Okay. Deep breath. Relax. Breathe. Okay. We'll even start slow. We'll start a little slow. Let's see what you can do. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, Dean, you're really close. Okay, Maxie, you're really close. We got Bundles, we got Pog, got Twin, got Andrea. All right, Vicky. Well, welcome in, Vicky. Okay, really close, Candy Girl. Think about how many times we're moving that. Maxie, good. There we go, Candy Girl. Okay, I don't want you guys changing answers because you see other people's. It's like being back in class again, you know, when you're like writing something and you're looking over like, oh, okay, they got the same thing I do. All right. Oh, yeah, the answer is this. I knew it the whole time. All right, so let's think about it. So we have a -2. That means I need to move my decimal point. Now, before, when we did this, so if we're coming out of this format, we need to go into the negative direction. So the decimal point is starting right here behind the 5. And we need to move it 2 places to the left. Okay? So this will be 1, 2. So we need a placeholder right here. So that'll be my 0. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? So that means we're going to have 0.05. Okay, so the decimal is not starting in front of the 5, it's starting behind the 5. And we're moving it over 1, 2 to the left-hand side. Yes, we cannot have a negative exponent. We don't want to keep it as a negative exponent. It's possible. Scientific notation is possible. It's showing that when you already have it in scientific notation and we're trying to get it out, this is telling me that I'm going to deal with a small number. Okay, think about it. When we did, let me unshrink this. When we did this lovely monstrosity right here, okay, if that wasn't here, and if I was just given this is telling me I'm going to be working with a smaller number. So I'm moving this decimal point 4 places to the left. That's how we got this. Same thing happened here. I have 2.3 times x raised to the -4th. So for me to get it out of the scientific notation, I need to go the way that it's telling me. Go to the negative direction 4 times. So I'm going 4 times to the left. Here, it's telling me a positive. So that means this is actually a larger number, not a smaller number. So I need to go 4 times to the right. That's how we got this number. Okay? All right? So when you're trying to get it out of the scientific notation and make it into its original state, the signage will tell you if it's going to be a small number or a large number. Okay? let's try. All right, we haven't done this one. Let's try this one. Okay. Okay, give that one a try. Okay. So I'm seeing 2,000, I'm seeing 20,000. It's between the two. The fight to the death. I feel like Star Trek. Come on. Okay. So is it 2,000 or is it 20,000? Okay. And then I have 1,000, 20,000. All right. So let's see. All right. So again, your decimal point is going to be right here at the 20. And this is going to be a positive 4. So that means I'm going to the right 4 times. So I can actually add 4 zeros. So if I bring down my 2, and then I add my 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. 4 zeros. So that will get me to 20,000. Okay. Good. So it's kind of like when you see numbers like this will tell you how many zeros you need to add. Okay, if you don't already have a decimal up here, that tells you how many zeros you need to add. Little shortcut. All right. Let's try. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. This I'm curious about. Try your best. That's a decimal. Try your best. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate it. Okay, Bundles of Blessings saying 218,000. Andrea Brown is saying 218,000. Kiki is saying 218,000. My channel is following me. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follows. Because I'm really close to getting 10,000 followers. I was 8 away, and then TikTok cleared out, I guess, a whole bunch of fake accounts. I was like, but that's okay. I shall build. All right, so Candy Girl is saying 218,000. Thank you, Casual, for following. Guylan is saying 218,000. Nicole is saying 218,000. Awesome, guys. See, I know earlier I said just add the number of zeros. But see, this time we actually had a couple movements of the decimal place. So here's one movement, here's another. So that's 2. So in order for us to cover the 5, we have 218. But in order for us to cover the 5, here's the 3, here's the 4, here's the 5. So that will give me 218,000. Yes. Okay. G, what are you doing? All right. I don't think I can fool you anymore. Let me try one more and then we can fool you. Then I can. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the time. This will have to be my last one because I have to get ready for this tutoring session and to wrap up. So 10 to the negative 5th. What do we got? Who's ready to boss up? Who's ready to boss up? I know, right? Yeah, this is actually in the math one too. There might be like maybe one. But again, this will be like a 3-point question. So you really want to hit on those, especially for GED. You want to get more of the 3 and 4s. Even if you just get like a few of them. All right, let's see. We got like 4 zeros with the 95. We got 4 zeros there. We have 4 zeros. Good. We have Candy Girl. Good. Who's before Candy Girl? All Z Taters. Hey, I think you used to come on and see my stuff. Okay, good. There you go. Twin, yes. Pog, yes. Bundles of Blessings, yes. Kiki, yes. Maxi Lou, you want to go the other way. You want to go the other way because now we're looking at a small number because it's a negative. Okay, give me, we want to go the other way. I feel like that thing. The other way. Pascal, good. Nicole, want to go the other way. Okay. Janice, yes. Don't forget your decimal. Janice, okay, good, Maxi Lou. All right, BB, yes. Don't forget your decimal. Oh, 0. Oh, you probably meant the decimal. Okay. All right. Okay, and just have to add the decimal point, Nicole, and you'll be all set. Okay, the big boss. Yep, good. Maxi Lou, there we go. Okay, so Nicole put the decimal between the very first 0 and the second 0. There we go, BB. Nice, baby. There we go. So we have one that we did for 94. So we got our 94. So that's 1. So now we need to add 4 more zeros. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Then my decimal point will be here. And we can add a 0 for measure. All right. I know, bruh. I know. That's why I have a blessed headache. Nice. Oh, my goodness. That's okay. I'm about to go and register for some engineering course. Okay, cool. Do you have my back with this math? I'll try. I'll take it to a certain extent. And if not, I definitely got a guy. So, I got a guy who can definitely get all that stuff together. He's going to be busy this summer because I'm just passing them on. All right, there you go, Nicole. There it is. There it is, baby. You'll stay in your lane. Hey, sometimes we gotta switch lanes once in a while, See what's on the interstate. You never know what that exit's gonna take you. It might take you somewhere awesome. All right, so just to wrap up, want to put this out there again. If you want to take a look at this all over again, if you guys missed out on the first part, which was the consecutive integers, or you guys dipped out before the scientific notation, we definitely go subscribe for my YouTube channel, Audrey Codner, ACG Math Tutoring. Take a little screenshot of that if you want. Basically, the link is also in my profile. I always put the replays on there. Sometimes it takes a little time because sometimes there's a lot of people that's on TikTok and it's kind of hard to download it on the live center. But it'll definitely be up there by the morning. As well as I will be here. Tomorrow's Thursday, so yeah, I'll be here tomorrow night at 9:30. Fridays I'm available at 1 p.m. And Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30. I keep forgetting to switch this up. So last bit, if you like how this book is set up, yes, this is a book, and I designed it. This is book number 4. Woo! Okay. All right, so it's 100 pages of basically, it gives you a section for you to put your formulas. You can write your steps in there. Let me see if I can snag. Oops. One of the previous books. This is the one, book 3 that we just completed. And I basically do all my lives, okay? All my lives that's in here. We do some sample problems. I am working on getting the hard copy of my notes. I'm trying to sell those, which will also give you the videos that's connected to them. So for some reason, Amazon is being a little itchy right now. But in addition to the pages, I also have what's called like a reference sheet. So I have my factor sheets was on there, which goes from 1 to 200. And I also have a lot of areas that people generally forget, like the rules of integers. And there is going to be some other items in here. We have area and perimeter, volume and surface area, also the area of the sector, arc length, equation of a circle, as well as Pythagorean theorem, SOHCAHTOA, and the unit circle. So, and then also I give like a little brain break because we all need a little brain break once in a while. So all this is a part of my math notebook. If you want a copy, you can get it through Amazon. These are already ready to go. I'm working on putting things on TikTok. That is on my agenda for tomorrow and Friday. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, it is going at like 12. Of course, I'm not making much money off of it from Amazon. Where did I go to school? College, St. Joe's University in Philadelphia. I'm a Philly girl through and through. Sorry. When I needed you in college, I was probably in college right there with you. Or I was probably playing professional basketball overseas because that's what I used to do many, many moons ago. All right, so yes, no problem. I appreciate this. I appreciate the fact that you guys were here. If anything, yeah, go birds, right? Fly, eagles, fly. Sorry. I know, hey, I mean, it's been a few years. When we got one, I mean, I didn't know what to do with myself. And then the second one, I lost my mind. All right, so if anything, if you are currently taking a class and you need online tutoring, do not hesitate to contact me. And also be on the lookout because I am putting together a summer program, probably meeting like twice a week and really starting from the very beginning of math. That means fractions, decimals, and I'm building ourselves up to Algebra 1 because I really feel like some people need a course before they take a college course, and this is going to help you with that prep. All right? Oh, thank you, Candy Girl. I appreciate that. Yeah, today was testing me. Good, BB. Thank you so much. I did notice that there was an increase. I appreciate it. So if you do need that, I do have courses. If you just want to do a self-paced course, I do have courses, and you can get that off of my website as well. That's for the GED, Accuplacer, ASVAT, and also if you do for algebra. So it'll be great for if you have a child that's going to go into 9th grade, or if you know someone that's going into 9th grade and they're not too great with algebra, this would be a great self-paced course breaking down with practice problems, some quizzes, as well as one like instruction. All right. Okay, so I have to skedaddle. I love you guys dearly. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be here. I'm not sure what I'm going to be teaching. Who sees? We'll see what these kids are going to come up with to stress me out during the day. All right. All right, take care, guys. Again, if you need anything, just go ahead and message me. All right, love you guys. Take care. Bye.